developing a South Asian food list for South Asians who live in the United States. We have a pretty robust team of MPH students, and our funding source came from the NCI Cancer Epidemiology Education in Special Populations project, which has been deferred for the second phase of the food list collection in summer of 2021. And I will pass it on to Mia.
The background for our project is based off of the fact that there are no culturally tailored dietary assessment tools for the South Asian population in the US. Why is this important to us? First of all, South Asians are the fastest growing major ethnic group in the US. As you can see to the right, about 20% of all Asians living in the US are South Asian. Also, there are very few food frequency questionnaires for this population in general, and have only been validated for South Asians in other countries. Not all South Asian ethnicities and subgroups are represented in other studies. Lastly, we wanted to capture the unique dietary characteristics, including both the Western and traditional foods and food practices. Next, so where do we stand in the research project? The image to the right shows the flowchart for different stages of the development of the FFQ. We are currently in the first stage, circled in red. Each colored section shows different stages at which there are grant opportunities. This first phase of the project consists of recruitment and data collection through an online survey, Zoom 24-hour recall interviews, and home food inventories. Using the information and data collected, we will start to develop a food list. Next. For the 24-hour recall, I want to stress the methods used in other studies and our study. You can see the methods from other studies on the left-hand side. Most of the studies used a combination of methods, generally consisting of either in-person 24-hour recalls with food diaries or another form of a 24-hour recall with a food diary. Our study was done completely online due to the pandemic. We recruited participants by sending out our Qualtrics survey via listservs, social media, and word of mouth to gather demographic information, food habits, preparation, and grocery shopping habits, and so on. Lastly, Zoom interviews with food and pantry and fridge tours were conducted after completing the online survey. And this slide highlights the advantages of our methods versus other methods. For our methods, using the Zoom platform was great because we were able to conduct the interviews online from any location. Participants could call in from their phones, laptops, iPads, and other devices. We were also able to record the interviews. Convenience. The participants were able to fit the interviews in during work breaks, lunch breaks, or whenever they were free throughout the day. They could also do the interview while watching kids and doing other tasks around the house if necessary. For some of the interviews, we had a secondary interviewer in the background to make sure there weren't technological problems and to ask about anything that was missed by the primary interviewer. It was voluntary, so all the people who were interviewed chose to do it. No one was forced into it. And we had a kitchen and pantry tour. The advantages of methods from other studies included multiple 24-hour recalls. So some studies required participants to do more than one 24-hour recall to better understand what their diets were during different times of the week. Also in person. The participants who go in person also may not be in a rush due to knowing the time commitment of going in person, whereas some of our participants seemed to be a little bit rushed. And also detailed account from food diaries. There may be more precise and detailed information about their diet and dietary patterns as they were done promptly versus from recall and memory. And in summary, our methods have advantages, particularly with convenience and participant reach, that could be applied to future food list development research, even beyond the times of the pandemic.
So our survey had over 60 respondents across 18 different states. Most of our respondents hailed from New York, California, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Maryland. Besides demographics, the survey also collected information on food security, alcohol consumption, physical activity, and South Asian meal prepping. So here are some of the key data on our demographics. A majority of our respondents were females. The average age of our respondents was 29.87, and the standard deviation was 8.61. Half of our respondents had a household income between 100,000 and 500,000 US dollars, and most of our respondents were born in the US, followed closely by India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh, respectively. So our respondents spoke many languages. Most spoke Urdu, Hindi, and Bengali. We also had respondents that spoke region-specific languages. So for instance, we had respondents that spoke Tamil and Telugu, which are generally spoken in South India, and Punjabi, which is generally spoken in North India and Pakistan. So diet is greatly affected by religious holidays and restrictions. So for example, during Ramadan, many Muslims fast during the day. Likewise, leading up to and after Diwali, many Hindus celebrate by eating food with their families. So for these reasons, we also asked our respondents about their religious affiliations. This also helped us schedule for our interviews. So for example, we avoided scheduling for interviews during Diwali seasons, knowing that Diwali may influence the regular eating habits of our Hindu respondents. So as you can see from the chart, most of our respondents were Muslims followed by Hindus. So in terms of South Asian shopping habits, we found that most South Asians visit South Asian grocery stores frequently. As a result, they also tend to prepare South Asian meals at home, presumably using the same ingredients that were bought from those South Asian grocery stores.
So next, we're going to talk about the interviews and home inventory. One of the advantages of being everyone working from home is everyone knows how to use Zoom to a pretty good extent by this point. So for the interview, we would start with participants sitting down and going over a 24-hour recall diet. And then we would move on to a pantry and kitchen tour. And a lot of times participants would switch over to a cell phone. And this format allowed us to get a really good intake and inventory of everything in their kitchen that might be Western or traditional, more South Asian foods.
As mentioned before, because of the format of our interviews, we were able to get a very in-depth and intimate view of our participants' kitchens and pantries. Here we have pictured an inside look at a participant's fridge, and as you can see, we have a very, very close view of all the condiments and little items that someone might have in their pantry, which then ended up being able to be put on our food list.
Sorry, my Zoom popped out. Next, we were able to start collecting most common items in the foods. So here we have another intake of what a participant's pantry looked like. And we had participants all over the United States, including Hawaii. So some of the most common items that were in the fridge in the pantries were turmeric, gram masala, ginger, garlic, cumin, allspice, coriander, chili powder, and black pepper. We had a wide range of oils, a wide range of different flours, including rice flour, wheat flour, moong dal, chickpeas, rice, and urd dal. Every participant had bananas and apples. There was a wide range of vegetables, and every participant had cauliflower, zucchini, carrots, and various chili peppers. And every participant also had eggs, paneer, and a type of yogurt in their pantry.
So thank you so much. If you're interested in learning more about our research, you can email our research team at nutritionresearch2020@gmail.com. My name is Bridget Murphy. I'm the doctoral student who's helping to lead this project, and reach out with any questions. Thank you.